My dear students, now we are going to learn the lesson The Concert, which was written by Santa Rameswar Rao. Let us discuss about the author. Santa Rameswar Rao was born in 1924. She is an Indian writer of myths, legend, folk tales, short stories, and picture books for children. She has retold tales from Indian scriptures and revoked folk tales and myth from little known tribal communities and far flung areas of India. In Tales of Ancient India, 1960, she retells original stories like how the stork got its neck and why snake have forked tongues. Children's Mahabharata 1968 drawn from Hindu myth and picture have demon, gods and humans as character. She stressed the importance of wise action in our public as well as private life. This is the picture of Santa Rameshwar Rao. Now we will discuss about glossary of this lesson. The main character in this lesson is Pandit Ravi Shankar. Who is Pandit Ravi Shankar? Pandit Ravi Shankar was an Indian musician, composer and a sitar player with a catch in her throat, means with a feeling of great sorrow. Unbidden means without being asked. Self reproach means a blame or criticism against oneself. Choked voice means voice filled with sadness. Enchanted means a feeling of great pleasure. Wriggle means to twist and turn the body or part of it with quick short movement. Allah Rakha is one more character in this lesson. He was an Indian tabla player, a frequent accompanist to Pandit Ravi Shankar. Now we will move to the lesson. This is Unit 5, the concert. Before coming to the topic, I would ask some questions. Can you identify the person in this picture? Who is this? Is the picture. Whose picture is this? This is, can anyone answer? Yes, this is the picture of Pandit Bhimsen Joshi. Then look at this picture closely. How does it strike you? Can you describe his feelings from the expression on his face? Can you describe it? Yes, this is the picture of singing in a concert. He was singing in a concert. It involved completely singing wholeheartedly. Here, one quote has given by Walter Savage Landor. Music is God's gift to man, the only art to heaven given to earth, the only art of earth we take to heaven. This is the one of the quote which was given by Walter Savage Landor. This is how Walter Savage Landor described the gift of music to humankind. You may have your own way of looking at music. For instance, one of you may say music is a source of imagination. Yes, this is right. Music is the source of imagination. Why it is the source of imagination? This is the reason for choice, because the reason is for choice. It is your choice. Then here, music gives me, music tells me, music makes me. For me, music is. For you, what is music? Here we will make some list of things which what music gives you, what music tells you, what music makes us, and what music is what for us. Okay. So, here music gives us happiness. Music gives us happiness and it gives us peace. Then it gives us silence. Music tells me or music tells us to involve. Music tells us to enjoy. Music tells us to dance. Then music music makes us to sing. Music makes us to be involved. Then music makes us immersed. Then for me, music is, for me or for us, music is everything. Music is God. For me, music is God. For me, music is heaven. Clear? Now, compare this poem you have written with this poem. I hear the music. Music is love. Music is life. Music can tell a story. Music cheers but also brings memories. What's so special about music? When I listen to music, it takes me to another world. Music is my passion. Music soothes the soul. Music can take away the pain. Our life is music. Music inspires me. Music flows through me. Do you hear it? Come dance with me tonight. Then, here we understood what is the value of music in our life. Let us discuss the lesson, The Concert, which was written by Santa Rameswar Rao. One morning, in a small apartment in Bombay, a girl of about 16, a girl of about 16 looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly, Pandit Ravi Shankar's playing tomorrow as the Sanmukhananda Auditorium. He see in this picture one girl was sitting and she is about 16. 16 means 16 years old. She was looking to the newspaper. She was reading newspaper excitedly, full happily, excitedly. She was telling to others that Pandit Ravi Shankar was playing and he's coming tomorrow to Sanmukhananda Auditorium. Sanmukhananda is the auditorium name. Then, said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. You will wake him up. You know he needs all the sleep and rest he can get. But the boy on the bed was not asleep. Pandit Ravi Shankar, he said. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro. He raised himself up on his elbow for 1 second, then fell back, but his eyes were shining. We must not miss the chance, he said. I have always wanted to hear him and see him. Lie down, son, lie down. His mother sprang to his side. He actually raised himself up without help. She murmured with a catch in her throat, and her eyes turned to the idols on a corner shelf, the prayer which she uttered endlessly come unbidden to her lips. I must hear him and see him. The boy repeated, It's the chance of a lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under bed, but his large eyes were fixed on his sister. When the girl here, the girl was excitedly said that Pandit Ravi Shankar was coming. See here, mother was the mother section. You see, she was making her to silent like this. Then here, one boy was lying on the bed, and oxygen also has given to the boy. What happened to this boy? The boy was sleeping. Mother said that, shh, don't shout, don't say anything. If you will say anything, this boy will wake up. Mother was pointing to the boy who was sleeping on the bed. But the boy was not really sleeping. He was not asleep. So excitedly that boy also asked that Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro, he was coming. I hope to see. I want to hear him. I want to see him. So that boy said that I want to see him. I want to hear him. Then mother said, lie down, my son. So lie down, my son. Don't worry. You take rest. Then I must hear him and see him. The boy said repeatedly, I must hear him and I must see him. Then the oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed, but his large eyes were fixed on his sister. So this in this picture, this boy is brother. This is sister. They are brother and sister. Sister was reading newspaper. Brother was lying on the bed. Next, here some of the question answers we will discuss. Which word in the first paragraph describe the manner of the girl when she saw the newspaper? In this first paragraph, the word excitedly is the word which describe the manner of the girl when she saw the newspaper. Why do you think the mother cautioned the girl? Anant. The boy name was Anant. Okay. Her brother, who had come for the treatment of cancer, needed sleep and rest, so the mother cautioned the girl. We must miss the chance. We must miss the chance. What chance did the boy not like to miss? The boy always wanted to hear and see Pandit Ravi Shankar, the great musician whose concert was going to happen the next day. Then, do you think the boy would get a chance in future? So, he did not want to miss the chance which would not happen to him in the future because his life is uncertain. Then question number 4. Imagine you were mother of the boy. Would you have reacted differently in the situation? If so, how? If I were the mother, I would have filled his wish all at any cost as far as his health condition is concerned. I would have made some arrangement to carry the boy to the concert hall to fulfill the boy's last wish by taking the permission of organizers. And I am sure that they would definitely oblige and humanitarian grounds. In the future, since he had not many days to live, I would allow him to go for the concert without hurting him. Because as a mother, I would have known that my son is will not be more days. Then read the third paragraph. The third paragraph. He raised himself up without any help. This is the third paragraph. Lie down, son, lie down. His mother sprang his side. This is the third paragraph. Here, he raised himself up without any help. The mother murmured with a catch in her throat on seeing him, what does this suggest about the condition of the boy? Read the fourth paragraph and answer. Now we will read the fourth paragraph. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. It's the chance of a life lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed, but his large eyes were fixed on his sister. Then, here the condition of the boy was very critical. He began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under his bed. Seeing his pathetic condition, and at the same time, with a ray of hope, she murmured with a catch in her throat, he actually raised himself up without help. Then we'll move to the next paragraph. Smita bit her lip in her self reproach. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. She had seen how the doctor had shaken their heads gravely and spoken words that neither she nor her parents could understand. But somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. The word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer, even though she pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of four, to their home in Gaganpur, and he was only 15 and the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. He was learning to play the sitar. They were both taking sitar lesson, but Anant was better than her, as in many other things. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their guru. Then cancer had stuck and they had come to Bombay so that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. Whenever they came to Bombay, the family stayed with Aunt Susila. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. They had come with high hope in the miracle of modern science. They told themselves that Anant would be cured at the hospital and he would again walk and run, even take part in forthcoming table tennis tournament. And he would play the sitar and perhaps would be a great sitarist one day. But his condition grew worse with each passing day, and the doctor at the cancer hospital said, take him home, give him the things he likes, indulge him. And they knew then that the boy had not many days to live. But they did not voice their fear. They laughed and smiled and talked and surrounded Anant with whatever made him happy. They fulfilled his every need and gave whatever he asked for. And now he was asking to go to the concert, the chance of lifetime, he was saying. When you are better, his mother said, this is not the last time they are going to play. Smita stood at the window looking at the traffic, her eyes filled with tears. Her mother whispered, but you, Smita, you must go. Your father will take you. So here students we can understood that boy name was Anant. He was suffering from cancer and the girl name is Meeta, who is the sister of Anant. They both were very good sitar player and they have keen interest on music. Okay, then their native place is Gaganpur, but they have come to where they have come to Bombay for the treatment of his brother. So for treating cancer hospital in the city because his brother Anant was suffering from cancer. Gagan was 15 Anant was 15 years old. Then Anant also wanted to see Pandit Ravi Shankar. In Bombay, they have stayed with Aunt Susila's house. That was the apartment where Aunt Susila was there. In their house, they stayed, and they were staying there for the treatment of cancer of Anant. But in Bombay also, the doctor said that there is very less hope for indulging and for the betterment of the health of this boy. How long he will live, it is up to the God. So they were he is under treatment in Aunt Susila's house. Then mother said, when they both were discussing about Pandit Ravi Shankar, because Pandit Ravi Shankar is coming to the auditorium, Sanmukhananda auditorium, for the concert. They both wanted to Smita and Anant, they both wanted to see him and hear him. After listening all these things, mother was denied Anant for this, and she allowed Smita that if you want, you can go with your father. Your father will take you for this mm, uh, for this concert. When she was alone with the aunt, When she was alone with Aunt Susila, Smita cried out in choked voice, "No, how can I? We have always done things together, Anant and I. I walk in the park might make you feel better," said Aunt Susila, and Smita was grateful for her suggestion. In the park, people were walking, running, playing ball, doing yogic exercise, feeding the ducks, and eating roasted gram and peanut. Smita felt alone in their mind. She was lost in her thought. Suddenly, a daring thought came to her, and as she hurried home, she said to herself, "Why not? There is no harm in trying it. It would be nice to go to the concert. I don't know when we will get another opportunity to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar," she said to her mother later, and her father agreed to get the tickets. Then she was sad. Smita was very sad, and Aunt Susila suggested to take her to the park. Nearby, one park was there. They wanted to go to the park, and she also agreed. And Smita was cried with a choked voice that how can I go? My brother, whatever till now, whatever we did, Anant and myself, we both together we did all the work. But in this work, how can I go alone? She was very sad. So Aunt Susila suggested to go to the park. They both went to the park. In the park, they have seen many scenarios like that. The people were walking, they are running, they are playing balls, they are doing some exercises, yogic exercises. They are feeding to the duck, and they are eating roasted grams and peanuts. Then Smita was feeling alone. That there also she was feeling alone, and she was lost her thought. Then suddenly one idea came to her mind, and hurriedly he came to her house, and she said to mother that she will go to the concert. Maybe after reaching there, she may get one more opportunity, good opportunity to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar. Then she said to her mother, as well as she said to father. Father also agreed with her words. Now some question answers are there based on this paragraph. Let us discuss all this question and answer. For a moment, Smita had forgotten something. What was it? Smita had forgotten that her brother was very ill, and the frightening truth that he had not many days to live since he had cancer. Question number 2. In what way was the truth frightening to Smita? Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die of cancer and his days were numbered. Question number 4. They had they had come with a high hope. What were their high hope? They had high hopes in the miracle of modern science. Their hope is for modern science. Do you think their hopes would be fulfilled? No, their hopes would not be fulfilled because they themselves thought Anand would be cared at the hospital and he would again walk and run, even take part in the forthcoming table tennis tournament. But the condition grew worse with each passing day, and the doctors told them to take him home. See, doctor said something to the parents. Were those words of hope of words despair? Doctors told them to take him home. There were words of despair. Give him the things, the likes, indulge him, and knew that the boy had no many days to live. Then, question number 5. Her eyes filled with tears. Where the tears happiness of sorrow give reason. Anant knew that there was a music concert by Pandit Ravi Shankar. He asked his mother to take him to the concert, the chance of a lifetime. They were not in a position to take him to the concert since he was with his oxygen cylinder, and soon his mother promised him that they would go when he was better, and that was not the last time they were going to play. Hearing this, Smita's eyes filled with tears of sorrow since she knew that her brother was going to die. Question number 6. Suddenly, a daring thought came to her. Can you guess what thought Smita had? Yes, she thought that it would be nice to go to the concert since she did not know when she would get another opportunity to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar, and she tried her daring thought, and her parents agreed to get the tickets for the concert. Let us move to the paragraph number 10. The next day, as Smita and her father were leaving for the concert, her brother smiled and said, "Enjoy yourself." Though the words came out in painful gasp, "Lucky you." Sitting beside her father in the gallery, Smita heard, as in a dream, the thundering welcome the audience gave the great master. Then the first notes came over the air, and Smita felt as if the gates of enchantment and the wonder were opening. Spellbound, she listened to the unfolding ragas, the slow, plaintive notes, the first twinkling ones, but all the while the plans he had decided on the evening before remained firmly in her mind. The chance of a lifetime. She heard Anand's voice in every beat of tabla. The concert came to an end, and the audience gave the artist a standing ovation. A large mustached man made a long, boring speech, then followed the presence of bouquets. Then more applause and curtain came down. The people began to move toward the exits. Now was the time Smita wriggled her way through the woods towards the stage. Then she went up the steps that led to the wings, her heart breathing loudly. In the wings, a small crowd had gathered to talk about the evening concert, to help carry buckets and teacups and instruments. He was there, standing with the man who played the tabla for him, the great wizard of music, Ustad Allah Rakha. Her knee felt weak, her tongue dry, but she went up and standing before them, her hands folded. Oh, sir, she burst out. Yes, he asked questioningly but kindly, and her story came pouring out. The story of her brother who lay sick at home, and of how he longed to hear him and Ustad play. Yes, students, next what happened? Smita. Smita and her father, they went to the concert. They were sitting they were sitting in the front seat. Here you see Smita is there and her father is there. Smita's in the concert also, Smita can see her brother's smiled face and his painful words. What he said that lucky you, enjoy yourself. These are the words when she was leaving to her house. These are the words her brother said. They are sitting in the front bench, and this is Master Pandit Ravi Shankar, and here the tabla player is there. Tabla player name is Ustad Allah Rakha, who every time Ustad Allah Rakha was accompanying to Pandit Ravi Shankar. Then the concert was going nicely. All were spellbound. They all were listening. Then at the end, when the concert was completed, all the audience they have given standing ovation. They have given applause and the environment was so nice. Then one some stage person came and he has given some boring speech. Then after presentation of bouquets time, all few people came and they have given bouquets to these famous persons. That cotton came down. Then these Ustad Allah Rakha and Pandit Ravi Shankar they came out. They were in the crowd. Smita was standing. Then she wanted to say few things to these people, but she was getting fear. But after that, her tongue is getting dry. Her heartbeat is very fast. But he, she was fixed this thing in her mind that she will go and she will talk with Pandit Ravi Shankar. Then she went and she stood in front of them. Her hands are folded. By folding hands, she said, "Oh, sir." She burst out, means little loudly. She said, "Oh, sir." Then they said, "Yes, yes, ask." In a questioning voice or kindly, he asked. Then, then her story came pouring out the story of her brother. And she said the story of her brother, how her brother is sick at home and how he was interested to hear the Ustad play. Then what happened? We will discuss now in the next page. This is the picture of Pandit Ravi Shankar. Then what she said, how she convinced to Pandit Ravi Shankar. Little girl, said the mustached man who had made the long speech. Pandit ji is a busy man. That person who has given a boring speech, he said that Pandit ji is busy. He cannot talk with you. You must not bother him with such request. But Pandit Ravi Shankar smiled and mentioned him to be quiet. He turned to Ustad Sahib and said, "What shall we do, Ustad Sahib?" The Ustad moved the word of pan from one check of another. Tomorrow morning we perform for the boy. Yes, he said. Yes, Panditji replied. It is settled then. It was a very excited Smita who came home late that night. Anant was awoke, breathing the oxygen from the cylinder. Did you hear him? He whispered. I did, she replied, and I spoke to him, and he will come tomorrow morning with the tabla ustad and they play for you. And the following morning, Aunt Susila's neighbors saw two men getting out of a taxi which pulled up outside their block. They could not believe their eyes. It is not possible, they said. Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Allah Raka went up the wooden staircase and knocked softly on the door of Aunt Susila's apartment. They went in, sat and down on the divan by the window and played for the boy, surrounding him with a great and beautiful happiness as life went out of him, gently, very gently. So, this is then after what happened? That girl daringly she said what she wanted to say. Yes, this question arises in our mind. Yes, the little girl said. But when she said, the mustached man, he said that Panditji is busy. He will not listen you. But in the same time, Pandit Ravi Shankar also was there, and he knows that what that girl is wanted to ask and what that girl wanted to say. So Pandit Ravi Shankar smiled and he said that just he should ask to Ustad Sahib, Ustad Allah Rakha. Then immediately he asked to Ustad Allah Rakha that what shall we do, Ustad Sahib? Ustad Sahib also agreed with Pandit Ravi Shankar. Then they fixed the time that tomorrow we will come and we will play. Then, yes, Panditji replied, yes, it is settled then. Tomorrow we will come to your house. Then, next day, in the same time, Pandit in the morning, Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Allah Rakha, they both came to Aunt Susila's house. And outside, when Aunt Susila saw that these two people came, she was surprised that really, is it really they came? Is it possible? It's not possible. But they said that this is possible. Then they came to Anand's nearby Anand's bed. One divan was there. They sat on the divan and they played music. Anant also hear the music. His happiness cannot measured by anyone. Okay, so Susila, Aunt Susila, mother, father, then Smita, Anant, all they were there. They were listening the music. They all were happy with this. And this is the true story. But all the names except Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Alaraka have been changed. In this story, that Smita, Anant, Aunt Susila, these names are not real, but the story is real. Except Ravi Shankar, Pandit Ravi Shankar, and Ustad Alaraka, all the names it has changed. But this is the true story. Hope, my dear students, you understood this lesson. Next class, I'll come with a new topic. Till then, bye bye. See you.